Kim Suho woke up from his slumber, then he felt intense body aches in his body. When he looks outside to prepare for work, the weather conditions are not good because the rain is pouring outside. His body was continuously aching and he started massaging it. He said, "Damn it, this is a bit serious." In his mind, labor pays more than you think, but that doesn't mean I made a lot of money. There are many reasons why I didn't make a lot. Of course, my body condition is one of the reasons. Because he realized that the rain wouldn't stop, he started questioning his mind. The exam period is over. Shall I take a rest today? Then a random guy appeared with an umbrella that the brand is St. Lloyd, and then he looked at Kim Suho arrogantly. He said, "Oh, my friend, why do you look so sad?" He glares at this guy and starts cursing in his mind. Kim Suho's friend said, "Hey, if you have nothing to do, what about going out to a sauna with me?" Kim Suho asks, "What do you mean sauna?" His friend arrogantly replied, "It is raining. Won't you get sick if you go to work in a weather like this? Let's go and change the mood, okay?" Kim Suho didn't know what ran in this guy's mind, which is why he remained silent for a second while glaring at him. Then Kim Suho looked away and said, "Oh, I don't have any money to get to a sauna." This guy then smirked at Kim Suho and he said, "Man, do you think that I don't know that you don't have any money?" Kim Suho remained silent while looking at him. Then his friend was somewhat looking down at him based on his expression. He said, "I have a part-time job at the sauna. That way you will feel hot all day for free." Kim Suho asks, "You are from a rich family, so why are you working part-time?" His friend laughs and replies, "It is one of my mom's saunas. I am going to help you out from today." Kim Suho starts gritting his teeth because of what this guy is saying. This guy looked back and he told Kim Suho, "Stop talking. Hurry up and follow me." This guy shares his umbrella with Kim Suho and he says, "Your shoulders are wet, dude. Get closer." Kim Suho's face starts to get serious. In his mind, you purposely, on the day the exams ended, you started working at a sauna, and it happened that you showed up at the early morning time exactly when I usually go out from work. Do you think I am a fool? His friend looked at him and said, "Don't tell me you don't even have money to buy an umbrella. Take this later. Lol." But for Kim Suho, this guy was an angel because he knows that this guy wanted just to hang out with him. Together with his friend, they entered the sauna and his friend even prepared food for them. Kim Suho was lying in there feeling relaxed. In his mind, this is heaven. The stiff muscles and ligaments were gently loosened. I feel like my frozen blood started to move finally. This unexplainable and very good feeling. It is like the mysterious cycle of the universe and the feeling of being one. Going back, Lloyd, Frontera, and Javier are now ready to build the sauna and bait down these mermen who are suffering from arthritis. He looks at the merman who are holding their aching body. In his mind, there is a plenty of demand. There are a lot of mermaids here and there that have arthritis and muscle aches. It is a natural result of just swimming like crazy in the enormous water pressure of the deep sea. He smiled as a new idea came in his head. In his mind, I have made plans for everything. I will call it the Mermaid's Kingdom Great Fishing Project. Then they go to the house of Rotulua to plan everything. Rotulua asks, "Do you want to build a steam bath? Is it an indoor facility that provides massage?" Lloyd replied, "Yes, that is right. There is no better facility than this for mermaids who suffer from arthritis." Rotulua was confused, so he asks, "What does that have to do with the excavation of the Jewel of Truth?" Lloyd replied, "We have to increase our manpower. It is impossible for the three of us to dig up all the large areas." Rotulua said, "I don't know, but it is going to be a little hard. Mermaids are scared of steam." Lloyd is confused and asks Rotulua what he means. Rotulua starts explaining. He said, "Did you see the hot chimney on the ground? Until recently, some mermaids were succumbed to the temptation of high temperatures. The bodies burned near it, and then they met their demise. For some reason, they lost their minds and were swept to that hot place and burned to death. Therefore, a law was put in place to prevent mermaids from approaching that hot chimney." Lloyd understood what Rotulua was saying, but he was still smiling. In his mind, the water in the hot water vent contains heavy metals, so this makes sense, but it is not a problem at all. Lloyd smiled and told Rotulua that the hot chimneys would solve all those problems. Construction of the steam bath has begun. Step 1. Prepare the steam bath site. Lloyd said, "All right, I will build the steam bath here." Javier asks, "Isn't it too far from the vent?" Lloyd replied, "It must be far away. Isn't safety the most important thing?" Lloyd then uses his skill to start summoning the design plan. A building guide appeared in the cave that Lloyd was planning to use for building his sauna. Lloyd starts moving to leave the area. Lloyd said, "Dig according to the instructions. I will go get the materials." Javier just unsheathes his sword and starts following Lloyd without question, cutting the area based on the instruction. Before leaving, he looks back at Javier. Lloyd said, "Wait, you are too obedient. Isn't that strange? May I ask?" Javier replied, "Yes. What?" Lloyd said, "Aren't you curious why do we search for the jewel of truth? And what if we don't find it? How do we know what will happen?" Javier didn't say anything for a second. Javier starts to continue what he is doing. He said, "Hurry up and bring the materials, please. If we don't hurry, won't that pose a danger to the area?" Lloyd starts moving. Before leaving, he called Javier and said, "Thank you. I really mean it." Both of them remain silent after Lloyd gives his sincere thanks. And after that, both of them start vomiting because they cannot resist the cringiness of that moment. These two should be the ones meant to be together in the end. Now is the start of step 2, which is to assemble the various materials. In Lloyd's mind, the hot water vent will solve all the problems. It is not just an empty promise. Then Lloyd jumps off the cliff to collect the materials. In his mind, it is time to go. Organisms that live near the hydrothermal vents. The creature living near the hot water vent will provide all the necessary materials for this construction. There they are, the tube worms. For step 2.1, gather tube worm secretions for finishing and connecting. Lloyd was hit by the secretion of those worms. For step 2.2, gather tube worm shells for use as pipes. Lloyd was using all his strength that his veins were about to burst from pulling those tube worms. Strength plus his ugly face is a perfect combination. For step 3, connect the pipes and connect them to the hot water vent. For step 4, run the pipes through each room and paint them with, of course, paint, and adjust the pipe size to control the temperature of each room. Lloyd shouts as the sauna is almost finished. He said, "And now, the most important part. What is the best part of the steam bath? It is the interior design. The first one is the emerald room. The second one is the coral room. And the last one is, I don't know what the hell did he put in that room, but Lloyd called it the relaxation room. Maybe it is a different kind of relaxation room." Lloyd shouted, "Boom! Bam! We're done! The #1 steam bath in the world!" Lloyd asks, "Mr. Rotulua, how do you feel about using the steam bath for the first time?" Rotulua was already relaxing while waving his mermaid tail. Even though Lloyd keeps calling him, he didn't even reply. For Lloyd, with this the bait is now already done, and there is no doubt about it anymore. Javier asks, "So, are you going to start a project with this steam bath? Do you really need to earn more money?" With his devilish face, Lloyd replied, "Huh? No, I won't take any money. Money is nothing." It is the first time for Lloyd, who is using financial healing, not to mind about money. Javier remains silent because he knows that the mermaids are now doomed. In his mind, this strange feeling. Let's just take a moment of silence for the souls of the mermaids. In the northernmost ocean where glaciers can be found, there was a bird lurking in the air. But little did that bird know that there was a hidden creature beneath the ocean watching it pass by, waiting for the right moment. Then a sudden strong splash from the water was seen. It was a female mermaid who was able to jump so high and do a backflip. The bird was shocked to see that mermaid. That mermaid smiles and looks at the bird. Then she grabs it with her large biceps. That mermaid was Lodita. Then Lodita lands in the ocean where her fellow mermaids are cheering on her. At this time, the bird was drowning. Poor bird. The mermaids said, "Lodita broke the record again. I am sure that she will catch up to the moon with her tail muscles." Lodita starts flexing her muscles in her mind. Those were good times. I would gain tons of muscles when I exercised. I was the most attractive bachelorette in the neighborhood. But that was all in the past. Right now, Lodita was an old mermaid who could not do that stunt anymore. Then Lodita starts punching her shoulders. She said, "My shoulders are aching again. They are aching so much, my goodness." Then her husband, who was already shaking, told Lodita that she is so noisy. Lodita said, "Oh, you want to live in an eternally quiet place?" Her husband said, "Old woman, you are hearing things wrong again." Lodita told her husband that she will be going to exercise for a bit. Her husband said, "You are exercising too much, aren't you? Just exercise 3 times a day like me." Lodita replied, my soul slowly dies off whenever I am resting. Lodita starts swimming while strolling the area. In her mind, actually, I am starting to wonder if I should stop exercising. But I cannot stop since I have exercised my whole life. If I could soothe some of these joint and muscle pains, then I could enjoy it a little more. Then she heard some noises in the area while she was strolling. It caught her attention. It was actually Lloyd who was advertising his sauna, and he uses Javier as his mascot for the opening of the sauna and to bait the mermaids. Lloyd was saying, come one, come all. For this opening event, everything is free. For all the mermaids who are faced with joint and muscle pains. This is totally different from the hot chimney. Come have a warm and relaxing time in our 100% safe bathhouse. Many mermaids were in that area, creating a long line of waiting mermaids. Lloyd was continuously shouting, inviting everyone to come and warm up their body because it was all free. Lodita was curious about what she heard, so she started to look into it. In her mind, what did he just say? I can safely warm my body up? Lodita looks at Lloyd with a disgusted expression on her face. In her mind, I heard that humans are very crafty creatures. Is it really okay to believe that it is free? Look at how he is smiling effectively. He looks like a total scammer. But Lloyd doesn't just look like a total scammer because he is a real scammer who can make you cry with his contracts. But Lodita starts to change her opinion when she sees Javier. In her mind, no, he is together with such a handsome young man. There is no way he is a bad person. Come to think of it, there is nothing they can scam us with using a bathhouse. Lodita enters the bathhouse with a plan to just play along with the schemes of Lloyd. But after staying in there for a second, her expression changed. She felt a very good and relaxed feeling, like the time that she came back to her youth. Then Lodita slammed the door with a smile on her face. Her husband was shocked about it. Lodita said, old man, let's go to the bathhouse together. It is free for 1 week. After that, Lloyd welcomes them with a smile. He said, you came back with your husband today? Please have a good rest. Then both Lodita and her husband were in there lying down and enjoying the sauna. Both of them felt like they had gone back to their youth as the pain in their bodies starts to slowly disappear. That cycle continued. Lloyd happily told Lodita, thank you for visiting us for 5 consecutive days. You both look so radiant. Both the husband and wife start flexing their muscles. And Lodita said, you have no idea how energetic we are as we exercise together now. Lloyd replied, oh, that is such a great news. Just what happened to you? All of them were shouting that they had become so energetic because of the bathhouse. Lloyd said, thank you. When all of you are happy, I am happy too. See you tomorrow and the day after at the bathhouse. A day passed by, and things changed instantly. If time changes so fast, the same can be said for the expressions of Lloyd Frontera. Lodita was speechless, witnessing Lloyd's 360-degree change in his expression. Lodita took a peek at the sauna where she wanted to relax, but it was fully closed. The door was fully locked, like there is some hidden treasures inside it. Lodita asks, why are the doors closed today? Lloyd seriously replied, the event is over. From now on, usage of the bathhouse is strictly for members only. Please sign up. Lloyd handed over to Lodita some papers saying that was the registration form. Lodita picks it up. In her mind, what is this? I just need to sign up and I can continue using it. Lodita started reading it. The first term of the form is, our bathhouse strictly runs on a membership system. Non-members are not allowed to access or use the bathhouse. The second condition, depending on the status of the members, the longest time you can use the bathhouse for 12 hours. For Lodita, 12 hours in the bathhouse is more than sufficient. But both she and her husband start sweating after they continue reading the third condition. Lloyd started saying that third condition. He said, for the third condition, when members use the bathhouse, they must pay a fixed fee. The fees aren't money, but instead labor. The hours of labor you need to provide are half of how long you use the bathhouse for. If you use the bathhouse for 6 hours, then you need to work for 3 hours. Your hours of labor must be fulfilled within 48 hours of using the bathhouse. For the first time you fail to fulfill the hours, you will be banned from the bathhouse for 10 days. The second time, it will be 30 days. The third time, your membership will be revoked. This made Lodita angry and called Lloyd a rotten scumbag. Then he grabs Lloyd by the collar and punches him in his handsome face. Lodita starts pointing her fingers at Lloyd. She angrily said, "How dare you order us, mermaids, who are greater beings, around? We have lived without the bathhouse so far. You stupid scammer, we just won't come here anymore." The other mermaids start to agree with what Lolita said. This poor scammer was holding his handsome face that was bleeding from that punch. Lloyd told all those mermaids that he would not force them to follow him, and in an instant, there is nothing left in the bathhouse. Lloyd starts fixing the table. Javier asks, "Did your plan fail?" Lloyd said, "Javier, you remember how you still managed to live without the lullaby before?" Javier starts thinking about it. On the other hand, Lolita starts punching her shoulder once again. She said, "Damn human, I knew he was up to no good. He must think we are pushovers." On the other hand, Lloyd was waiting until his plan started to sprout. He was just slowly fixing and waiting for things. On the other hand, Lolita starts punching his shoulder again and again. And it didn't end. She started punching her shoulder much stronger compared to before. But Lloyd was just continuously fixing things like he is some sort of super villain. Lloyd starts to sit and wait. In his mind, humans could live even if they didn't have cigarettes. Humans could live even if they didn't watch YouTube videos and start subscribing at the Akatsuki Weirdo channel. Humans could live even if they didn't play computer games. But that is before they get the taste of it. And Lloyd predicted all of that as he was known as the god of schemes. Lolita together with other mermaids goes back to where the sauna was located. Lolita's tears start to fall off from her eyes. She said, "Give me the registration form, you rotten scumbag." Lloyd slowly gives the registration form to them. Then he offers his hand like he is some sort of gatekeeper in hell. He asks, "Have you all decided?"